locations. Our main Cikarang campus, Bekasi City campus, and Karawang campus. Cikarang is home to thousands of companies located in one of the most important industrial areas in Indonesia, namely the Jababeka Industrial Area in Cikarang. This industrial area, which is about 40 kilometers from the capital city of Jakarta, is one of the largest in Southeast Asia. Pelita Bangsa University offers associate, bachelor, and master degrees through 4 faculties: the Faculty of Engineering, the Faculty of Business and Economics, the Islamic Faculty, and the Faculty of Education and Humanities. Under these faculties, we have 16 study programs: Management, Master's Degree Program in Management, Accounting, Entrepreneurship, Digital Business, Law, Elementary School Teacher Education, Early Childhood Teacher Education, Islamic Economics, Islamic Education Guidance and Counseling, Information Technology, Industrial Engineering, Architecture, Civil Engineering, Agricultural Product Technology, and Environmental Engineering. Pelita Bangsa University has laboratories, a large number of classrooms, a large auditorium, conference rooms, libraries, students' organizations' offices, sport facilities, and abundant parking. University of Pelita Bangsa has cooperation agreements with more than 50 domestic educational institutions and more than 10 educational institutions in other countries, such as Malaysia, Vietnam, India, Egypt, Somalia, Nigeria, Philippines, and counting. Pelita Bangsa University also has cooperation agreements with more than 29 industries and government offices. The vision of Pelita Bangsa University is to become a global entrepreneurial university with business units supporting the university by 2045. Pelita Bangsa University wants to provide the best contribution to the nation and state, as well as increasing the quality and quantity of supporting fields for education, research and community service activities, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Our conference is about to begin. Please kindly mute your microphone for the smooth running of our conference. Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to the first Pelita International Conference 2023, Driving Global Impact, Innovations for Sustainable Development Goals. This is an international conference on business, economics, technology, engineering, law, and education. On behalf of the Pelita Bangsa Directorate of Research and Community Service, we would like to express our warmest welcome and greatest appreciation for your attendance in today's conference. I am Listian Ahmad, your host and moderator for our first session today. I also would like to greet
the Chancellor of Pelita Bangsa University, Mr. Hamzah Muhammad Mardi Putra, SKMMM DBA, the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs of Pelita Bangsa University, Mr. Dr. Insinyur Supriyanto MP, the Vice Chancellor for Non-Academic Affairs, Mr. Muhammad Hatta Fahamsyah, SSY MSc CSA, the Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Business, Dr. Priyatmi Nur Astuti, the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, Ms. Putri Anggunsari, the Dean of the Islamic Faculty, Dr. Sarwo Edi, the Director of DPPM, Dr. Sunita Dasman, and of course, our distinguished speakers, Mr. Cesarendra PhD from Brunei Darussalam University, Dr. Ali Said Al-Matari, Asyarkiyah University of Oman, Leo Carlo B. Rondina PhD, CEO of Carl Rondina Research and Life Coaching Service, the Philippines, and Professor Ananda Sabil Hussein, PhD from Brawijaya University. And also our moderators, Dr. Agustini Tanjung and Ms. Andriani. Now, we kindly request everyone to stand and sing our national anthem, Indonesia Raya, followed by the March of Pelita Bangsa.
Universitas Pelita Bangsa berkomitmen dengan kualitas terdepan. Universitas Pelita Bangsa membangun pendidikan yang bermutu. Universitas Pelita Bangsa memberikan pelayanan yang terbaik, megah dan terpercaya untuk membentuk karakter juara. Terus maju dan terus berprestasi, Universitas Pelita Bangsa.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, this international conference is held by Pelita Bangsa Directorate of Research and Community Service. The vision is creating a just, prosperous, civilized society with high ethics inspired by religion. An institution that has international quality standards, able to play an active role in overcoming various global problems and challenges in developing the nation and human civilization, as well as improving the entrepreneurial spirit of the Indonesian people. This conference is held in collaboration with Brawijaya University, Brunei Darussalam University, Asharkiah University of Oman, Carl Rondina Research and Life Coaching Service, the Philippines. In this session, together we will discuss innovation, artificial intelligence, and SDGs in various perspectives. Ladies and gentlemen, today's conference will be divided into two sessions. This first session will end at 11:30 a.m. and the second session will start after the lunch break at 1 p.m. The first session will feature the 4 speakers I have introduced. There will be a Q&A session after the first 2 presentations and again after the second presentations. The second session this afternoon will have 2 breakout meetings. One of the breakout meetings will be moderated and guided by Ms. Andriani. The second breakout meetings will be moderated and guided by Dr. Agustini Tanjung, DBA. Distinguished guest presenters, participants, ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to a very important part of today's ceremony. We would like to invite Director of DPPM, Dr. Sunita Dasman, which will deliver his welcome address, and also on behalf of our Chancellor of Pelita Bangsa University, Bapak Hamzah Muhammad Mardiputra SKMMM DBA, will also officiate this conference. Ms. Sunita, Mr. Sunita, the time is yours. Excuse me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace for us all, the Honorable, the Chancellor of Pelita Bangsa University, Mr. Hamzah Muhammad Mardiputra, SKM MM DBA, the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dr. Insinyur Supriyanto MP, the Vice Chancellor for Non-Academic Affairs, Mr. Muhammad Hatta Fahamsyah, SSY, MSc, CSA, the Dean of the Faculty of the Economics and Business, Dr. Priyatmi Nur Astuti, SAMA, MM, the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, Ms. Putri Anggunsari, SPT, MSI, and the Dean of the Islamic Faculty, Dr. Sarwo Edi, SAG, MM. And our keynote speakers, Professor Ananda Sabil Hussein, PhD from Brawijaya University, Indonesia, Mr. Kaisarendra, PhD, Brunei Darussalam University, from Brunei Darussalam, Dr. Ali Said Al-Matari, Asharkiah University, from Oman, and Mr. Leo Carlo B. Rondina, PhD, CSP, CEO of Carl Rondina Research and Life Philippines, as well as academics and our happy invited speakers and guests. We give thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Almighty God, for all His blessing and gift, so we can attend this first Pelita International Conference on driving global impact innovation for sustainable goals in 2023. I welcome and give my appreciation to the first Pelita International Conference Committee at Pelita Bangsa University for holding these activities as a vehicle for sharing knowledge, exchanging experience, views, and best practices with academics and experts from universities and in friendly countries. Ladies and gentlemen, let me invite us all to observe two phenomena of the change in the face of the world of education today. First, the presence of an online platform that provides education and training services with an asset valuation of billions of dollars. However, uniquely, this institution may not have campus buildings like the world's leading universities. Some of the names we know, namely Udemy, Coursera, or Ruang Guru, which originate from Indonesia. Second, the presence of a generation born and growing up in the digital technology era. They are a digital native generation who are very skilled at utilizing digital technology in their daily lives. No matter how much effort is put in by a generation like mine, who are digital immigrants, it certainly won't be able to match the skill of playing with the technology like those of digital natives. At least those who are two challenges in the world of higher education that we must face together wisely. Higher education institutions must be able to maintain their relevance and existence as a producer of superior human resources, globally competitive and with noble characters. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to respond to the challenges of the change, higher education institutions must continue to transform and strengthen collaboration, including with the business and industrial worlds, governments, non-governmental organizations, professional organizations, society, and the media. Transformation and collaboration are also needed to make higher education world-class. At least these two efforts can be applied in the following frameworks. Transformation and collaboration are also needed in this area. First, rejuvenate the government and management of education system as well as research and development. By prioritizing good university governance, values like transparency, accountability, responsibility, independence, fairness, quality assurance, and relevance. In addition, higher education as a motor of innovation can be initiated collaboration in the form of joint research. This is important so that financing become more efficient, as well as the development of science and technology in line with the needs of industry and society. Second, a review of research methodology to be adaptive to advance in information technology. For example, many research institutions have utilized artificial intelligence and big data in mass surveys. The analysis and policy recommendations are also close to real time, making it difficult to match the manual survey methods. Third, increasing international cooperation between universities at an individual level, such as exchange program between lecturer and students. The hope is to improve the quality of lecture research, the quality of alumni teaching and learning models, and community services program. Fourth, higher education as a culture center and driving force of social change towards a society that is democratic, has progressive outlook, as well as having fight and noble character. This is the important role of higher education, which must not be forgotten, so that mastery of advanced technology remains balanced with aspect of humanity and fight. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, we hope that this activity will be able to produce publication outputs and direction for higher education governance policies that are based on good university governance toward becoming a world-class university. Welcome to the conference. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala always give His guidance and bless every endeavor and cooperation we do. Wallahu muwafiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Bapak Sunita. And now we're coming to the heart of the first session. First, let's welcome Mr. Cesarendra, PhD of University Brunei Darussalam. Mr. Cesarendra is a very well-known researcher and lecturer, and today will make his presentation on innovation for sustainable development goals in the perspective of engineer. Mr. Cesarendra, the time is yours.
Thank you very much for the, can you hear my voice? Yeah. Hello, yes?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
I
wabarakatuh.
think first of all, I would like to, as usual, I would like to thank to the committee who invited me to this conference. I'm a bit surprised, yeah. The title of the this I think the first conference in UPB, yeah. But when I checked the attendance, quite a lot, so a bit surprised, and I think the very good conference, and then also the distribution of the flyer and information also quite good in this conference. Okay, I would like to share my PPT. Just a moment. Yeah, Bismillah. Okay. Yeah. So. Okay, usually when a committee invited me, before I start, yeah, just thank you for the also introducing my profile and CV. Usually when the committee invited me to the conference, the topic is quite specific, and this is the first time I think I have invitation as a keynote speaker in the conference that has a wide area. This first Pelita International Conference, the theme is driving global impact, innovation for sustainable development goals. But the sub-theme is also including the business, economics, technology, engineering, law, and also education. That's why this makes my time I have more time to prepare the presentation, because I would like to include and involve all of this, because I believe most maybe attendance not all coming from only from the engineering, maybe also from the other faculties. That's why I try to. Okay, in this case, hopefully it will be some insight for the attendance. So the title of presentation to innovation for sustainable development goals. But because I'm coming from the engineering field, I would like to see perspective of engineering. Currently, I'm an assistant professor in Faculty of Integrated Technologies, University Brunei Darussalam. But until 2024, I also have an invitation at Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, Opole University and of Technology, Poland. Yeah, so in one semester, at least I have to be in there in 2 months. Yeah, in one semester. So I have done my part on the to July the semester, and I will be go back to the semester maybe at the end of the year. The content of the presentation today, yeah, because of this conference quite interesting. So I would like to introduce about innovation and creativity because I also teaching one module in UBD about innovation and creativity, entrepreneurship. And I would also would like hopefully the most of the attendance today is students, yeah. So you will get some information about how to obtain an idea, and then and we need to see what is the conceptualization techniques because to after you get an idea, you need to have some conceptualization technique, and then uh, sorry, innovation usually and entrepreneurship is a one packet, yeah. If you googling it, usually innovation and entrepreneurship is one packet. So I would also would like to also would like to introduce about what is entrepreneurship because we need the entrepreneurship skill as well for engineers to develop a product and to find innovation as well. And also because I'm coming from mechanical engineering, I will try to inform. I have a lot of projects, sorry, but I just would like to select one of few projects to be presented in this conference. Yeah. Okay, number one is about introduction to innovation and creativity in perspective of engineering. So engineer or mechanical engineer should have the following skill, yeah. So not only mechanical, I think all engineers who attend the presentation today, at least you should have the following skill. So you should have the open-minded with other engineering or science discipline. That means as engineer, you don't have to stick to your field. Please, maybe you can hang out or discuss with other friends, other colleague from other engineering field, also from other discipline like science, also maybe the social science as well, economics. So you will get a lot of information from the colleagues. And you should have the innovation and creativity in order to develop your skill. And also maybe not enough. You have although you have the good innovation and creative skill, but you don't have the entrepreneurship, you cannot sell your product, right? So I think you better also have the entrepreneurship to probably you can also create the startup company once you have the skill and so you have the funding, and you should have also the product design engineering and programming. Yeah. So this is the engineering should have the skill. I would like to also give some example from my side about the open-minded. I would like to say that actually my background in bachelor degree, I got degree from Diponegoro University Mechanical Engineering, actually in the mechatronics and control system, yeah. And also then developing the mechanical design, signal processing, engineering measurement, mechanical vibration, numerical method, and pattern recognition method. These are my fundamental research, and I would like to crystallize my competencies into the actually also some of the one of them I forgot, yeah, to put. I need to put as one here, product design as well because machining in one the main competencies that I have selected so far, and I've been applied these competencies into the different fields, for example, condition monitoring, biomechatronics, and biosignal processing. Sorry, and then manufacturing as well. And this only selected, yeah, the selected company and university or also other institution that I have been involved in the project, like Distortion in Korea, Postco Steel Industry in Korea, Blue Scope in Australia, Indonesian Science Institute in Indonesia, Karadi Hospital Indonesia, Ramelan Surabaya, and then Rolls and RTC is Singapore, yeah. I also in Brunei and also others I did not put in here. Is I forgot updating. They are another company that I have involved in the project. Okay, so what is the innovation now? Go back to the definition. Innovation is the process and outcome of creating something new. Yeah. So when people ask you about what is innovation, you can answer about this. Innovation actually is the process and outcome of creating something new, yeah, which is also value, not only something new, but also value. Innovation involves the whole process from opportunity identification, ideation, or invention to development, prototyping, production, while entrepreneurship only needs to involve marketing, sales, and commercialization. So basically, what I want to say here, informed innovation and entrepreneurship is one packet. When you googling it, you will find innovation and entrepreneurship in one packet. Yeah, that's why once we done about innovation, the next step will be entrepreneurship. So this is the scope involved in the innovation, and then the entrepreneurship involved in the marketing, sales, and commercialization based on the Sampeter book. Okay, I give you some illustration about what is innovation. Not have to be 100%, not necessarily to be 100% new. It can be modified or improved version of the existing product or method, or also the things. So you can see from here, it's just illustration, yeah. You have umbrella. You use umbrella during the raining, right? And maybe another people have an idea or innovation that we can make the umbrella shape vice versa, or maybe upside down. You can see from here to the purpose is to get the water, and then the water coming down to the this hose or maybe the stick, yeah, and then we can see the water. So this something like so innovation is a state of mind. You can get some learning idea from this illustration figure. So in here, if we spend more effort on the innovation, once the product is created, if we spend more effort on innovation, once the product is created with interesting features and new concept, the commercialization will be easier to do. This means that if you have interesting features or a new concept, the entrepreneurship or marketing will be easier to do, yeah. But if you have like limited the features in terms of the innovation, it will be difficult for the commercialization stage. Okay, now in innovation, what we need to have is creativity, right? What we need to have in creativity, then we need to see what the definition of creativity. According to James Webb Young, creativity is an idea uh, ab- about nothing more or nor less than a combination of all elements. So creativity can be a modification or combination of all elements. Yeah, not have to be new, but it can be combination of the old elements, according to the James Webb Young. From the Albert St. Georgi and Nobel, he's the Nobel Prize physician. I forgot what year. Yeah. He said that looking at the same thing as everyone else, but seeing something different. Yeah. So the Albert St. Georgi defined the creativity is about looking at the same thing as everyone else, but seeing something different. So so you have two different definition from, maybe also you can find more definition, but basically I choose this one is because it's quite relevant with the definition of the creativity. Okay, now I think you have an idea. You have a question now, yeah. What in order to get some in order to develop or build your creativity, I think you have a question that how to obtain an idea, because this is also the one step, yeah, in innovation and also creativity, how to obtain an idea. I give you a four main methods of finding the ideas according to my experience during bachelor, master, and PhD, also during the teacher in overseas, yeah, in some of universities. So you can choose pen points. We will see in more detail later on, and we can also get some sort from so again, so got an idea from observation, or you can get some ideas from combination of existing ideas, or you can also get from the news. Yeah, so you can see what is the pain point, what is observation, and as well, and so on. And this the pain points. Yeah. Okay, before that, actually, according to my experience, yeah, I have experience. I have creating a number of products actually until now, and I can inform that sometimes I get from the pain point, yeah, the idea. Also, sometimes I get from observation. Also, I can combine different ideas. Also, the news as well. So this is the I think quite effective in my experience. Okay, so the four pain points. I wish this is something that we need to uh usually the question, yeah, the question or maybe your opinion, yeah, about something. If you see this figure, yeah, maybe the maintenance of the building to clean the glass outside, bit dangerous, yeah. And I think the after looking at this figure, there is some question about or maybe opinion or idea. This the idea. I wish there was an easier way, yeah, to do, yeah, something like this, and maybe the list that you can have an example, putting out the washing, cleaning windows, and this is the one that here, yeah. Cable management is the one here, yeah. Storing your computer and getting medicine without queuing. This is also something that important at the moment, yeah, especially in the high populated country like such as Indonesia, yeah, and so on. Okay, so I think there are a lot of more that you can find that you say that I wish there was an easier way to do, yeah. Maybe in order to also during my keynote speaker, so I usually I have the two-ways communication. Maybe you can maybe type on the chatting room. I just would like to maybe to have some feedback from you. Maybe you have another um condition that you would like to do in a easier way. Yeah, I wish. Okay, so you can maybe during the how many participants at the moment? I think 200, 200 plus. Yeah. So if one of you can help me to put one or two more, it will be good as well. Okay, we have learned about the open points, and then we move to the second or source of the getting an idea, observation. Yeah, the second sources to get an idea is from the observation. It is about observing people and their action, or can I see a simpler way of doing it? You can see from here, people, disability people would like to use a and so in this case, you have some observation, maybe as an engineer or as a scientist, you should get idea to make these people better in their life. Yeah, so we can create something like robot that can use their up going up and going down, you see, without for the disability people, or also the some of the old people or maybe your parents or grandparents have some difficulty to open the jar or maybe something like this, yeah. So you can create something that helping your parents and or grandparents, yeah. So this one is climbing stair on crutches, yeah. This is the one example, and this is the yeah. And this is also quite nice. Sometimes people mobility is now is increasing, yeah. Walking, driving, so and also people communication also increasing. So how can we use handphone without the holding the with our hand? So something handless, yeah. The hand free help. So now already technology already developed using the smart watch, something like this. Yeah, this from observation. And then from the number three, you can combine the existing ideas into a new innovation thing. Yeah, this is also a true story. Yeah, before I would forget what the name is. Paralying. Yeah, maybe I forgot the name about this. And this kind of sport actually is a combination from the surfing and also this kind of the sport. Yeah, and then they combine together and become this new sport. Yeah, or maybe the fun things. Yeah. That is something that can be improved or combined from the ideas, existing ideas. And from the news, yeah, this is one of the my project in Brunei. Before I joined Brunei, but I got this information from the newspaper that um, the battle rabies or battle waste in the Brunei River is quite a lot during morning session, yeah, and it is only like a few or limited clean the river. In this case, the UBD uh have an idea, not UBD, me and with my PhD student have idea to develop a robot, water collector, not water robot that rubbish, and then they can collect the rubbish automatically. Okay, so I present already about 4 sources to get an idea, and we move to the now after we get an idea. Yeah, I think the next step is about how can we concept, and I will present about 3 different techniques. I think I will stop. I think there's some chat here. Oh no, okay. Okay, now after we got that idea, we need to move to the conceptualization techniques. Yeah, I will inform you there are 3 different techniques that can be applied, and this already I approved already is for quite effective as well. I tried everything already. So brainstorming, we will see about what is brainstorming, and then what is the mind mapping, and also morphological analysis. Yeah. So the brainstorming is a method for generating ideas to solve a design problem. It usually involve a group under direction of a facilitator. Yeah, usually okay. So the brainstorming is something actually the something like you have meeting with other people and then sharing the ideas. And of course, when you meet people with different opinion, I think after some time you will find your group will find some ideas. Yeah, because of course this one is something like a collect. Yeah, not only ordinary people. You need to find meet with the people from also scientists, also maybe the engineer as well, because the idea, the topic that will be discussed is also a bit specific. Okay, and then this is usually in my group, in my module, I already usually applied like a group, yeah, group project. Consists of one group consists of a few students, and then they have to come up with the what I in this module, yeah, I call innovation entrepreneurship module. I teach this module in UBD, innovation and entrepreneurship, innovation, yeah, sorry, entrepreneurship. So I've divided into few groups, and then one group consists of few students, and then they should come up with the idea, and then they should create the prototype. Yeah, this is basically what is this module goals or objective. And then still brainstorming. Brainstorming can be effective way to generate lots of ideas in a relatively short time. Of course, yeah, because not only one. If you have more people that discuss one topic at the in at the same time, the idea will be coming in the short time, because more people means more idea, more opinion, more discussion. Then there will be easier for you to get more time to get idea. And it is most effective with largest groups of people and should be performed in a relaxed environment. This is the one that I explained before. Larger group or larger people will we have more time, short time, and then we'll get more effective result. But you need to take note that it should be performed in a relaxed environment, also not in the noisy. Yeah? Maybe you can select the place that's very quiet, yeah, and then very far from disturbing. Yeah, you need to get some good place to discuss. And the more far people, also the better. Oh, this also the what does this sentence means? If you come meeting with have not only engineering, maybe you can also invite your people from your colleagues from the economic, maybe also social science, because maybe in terms of the product design to creating something, a product, you need also parameter from the others engineering, yeah, not only from the engineering side. That's why it's more paired people is the better result. Okay, now is a mind mapping. What is a mind mapping? A mind map is a diagram used to visualize organized information. A mind map is a hierarchical and source relationship among pieces of the wall. I got from Wikipedia, and I give you some idea what is the mind mapping. Actually, example you can see from here. Yeah, there is tool as well, but usually before the tools is developed, but now you have a tool, yeah, you can I forgot the name of the software, yeah. But before for the tool, I use sketching, yeah, hand sketching. I think for me it's faster and easier. But after you have fixed, you finalize your mind mapping, you can convert into the tools or the software. Then for the presentation will be better, yeah. Yeah, because my handwriting, to be honest, is not so good. That's why I need two tools. But usually I start with the handwriting, hand sketch. So you can see from here, in mind mapping is the middle, yeah. So for example, is the general idea or general concept, and then you should have some branches like benefits, and then planning, collaboration, and productivity, as well as the creativity. And I believe that from the big branches, it has some of the branches as well, sub branches, smaller. For example, like a planning, you will have the projects, goals, and strategies. For creativity, you have ideas, innovation, and thoughts. For productivity, you have a more efficient, intuitive, and then for collaboration, you have teamwork, sharing, and colleagues. And for benefit, you will have a few, easy to memorize, simple, fast, and fun. If you think that there is one more branch here, you can create more. But if you think enough, it's okay. And this is the kind of the example of mind mapping. And I give you some example for the product design. In product design, it will consist of the few uh, concept. Oh no, concept. The few branches. For example, in product design, I think this is not in order. Yeah, you can choose what is the first one. I think design features. I think the first one. Okay lah. The design is number one. You need to find the design features, and then design concept is number two, for example. And then uh, technology support is number three because yeah, and then you can start with manufacture the prototyping, and then now you need to get some of the control risk, number five, and then this number six, digging the needs, and then number seven is rival analysis. And if you think that design feature has also sub branches, you can divide into few smaller branches, and then also design concept. You will, for example, like you have theme, color, plan B, and for the prototype you have this one, and this control you have pricing, and so on. Yeah, all has two layer. Yeah, one, two, one, two, except this one. So except the rival. The rival has this is a first layer, second layer, and they have three layer. So for example, rival one, they have pros and cons, yeah. Pros, and rival two also have pros and cons, and so on. So you can do like this in order to create something for the innovation and creativity. And for the morphological analysis, also quite interesting method, is a systematic and structured way to generate new ideas. The aim is to categorize sub-functions of characteristic that can achieve a particular function or goal or solve a particular problem. So, for example, in mobile phone innovation, I choose this example, mobile phone concept. This is the function, yeah, then the option. For in terms of the function, it has holding function, sorry, one and the store function, and then entering number function, display function, power supply function, signal reception function, sound output, and then sound input. Yeah, and for each function, you have to provide more than one option. For example, in the holding function, it has three options: stopwatch style, calculator style, and also not help also. And then for the storage, you can see, you can select for the entering number, keypad, voice, or barcode, and so on. Yeah, display LED, LCD, and on. And after you put as much as detail about the function as well as the option, then what you can do is only drag the line. Yeah, you can just drag a line. For example, this is the line that this morphological chart choose. Yeah, maybe I will choose myself. For holding one, I like for the whole calculator style maybe, and then I will choose the pin badge for the storage, and I like the keypad for the entering number. I like the LCD, yeah, for display. For the power supply, I like the battery one. And then the signal reception, I use usually the internal external cable real. This moment maybe external is the one is better, and then sound output is also earphone, and sound input will be external. Okay, this is my option. So you can choose your own option once you generate quite detailed morphological table, something like this. Yeah. Okay, you can try at home maybe after this conference, maybe tomorrow. And we move to the entrepreneurship now. Okay, once we have some strong foundation about the innovation, now we have to uh, um, we need to learn about entrepreneurship in order to make your business successful. Yeah, in entrepreneurship, um, I think this definition from the Wikipedia is quite generous and general. And also you can see from here an example of the what is entrepreneurship. Actually, the entrepreneurship is the process of designing, launching, and running a new business, which is often initially a small business. Yeah. So I will also give you example because I currently also with my student in Semarang. Also, we develop one business or startup company. I will inform you later on. So I also encourage uh, people attendance today to maybe in the future you can create a startup company to start your business. Yeah, better than was finding the. And yeah, this is entrepreneurship. You can see from here there are a lot of example figures. Yeah, what I would like to highlight from this figure is you can see from here entrepreneurship is always comes together with innovation, right? So entrepreneurship, yeah, and also sometimes like about ideas as well. So in here also ideas, entrepreneurship ideas. Okay, I think yeah, okay, this is the mean this mean that innovation ideas and entrepreneurship is one packet, cannot be separated. But yeah, I also have experience about this when me with my student creating a startup company. So your plan is this is your plan, quite smooth, yeah. And then this is your goal. It looks like everything is will be going smoothly, but in reality, don't be surprised that you will have a lot of obstacle, also a lot of challenges and issue and problem, yeah. And then you have this stone, and then you have to have something, and then you have this one. Finally, you will reach your goal. That's why you have to be resilient and hard worker. And for the business model, you need to learn from here. This model is you need to create something like this kind of the chart, or you need to sketch. Yeah, in business model, there are some aspect that you need to consider. For example, the maybe the cost is number one first. Yeah, what cost will need, what cost needed, what the customer usually the idea also coming for the customer, and then you need to start the customer first, and then you can see key resources, and then key activities, partners, value proposition, distribution, and revenue. Then finally you will see the revenue. This is the last one, but this is also important one. And in business model, I would like to introduce very common and useful tools we call the business model canvas. You can try googling it. Business model canvas is quite good to start if you would like to analyze make some concept for your business, so you need to have this kind of the document we call business model canvas. It has some of the component: key partners, key activities, key resources, value proposition, customer relationship, customer segment, channels, and at the bottom one you will see the cost structure here, and then at the right side you have the revenue stream. So this is the default template, yeah, for the business model canvas. Okay. Oh, I did not give you. I think we have done a lot of business model canvas from this module. Yeah, okay. So this is the curriculum in UBD. If you would like to, maybe also in UPB, because I saw that UPB has logo, yeah, in the university logo. I saw that entrepreneurship university. So in order to achieve in the future about entrepreneurship, I think you should include this kind of the module, yeah. And also I can maybe I can also be the visiting lecturer in the future to teach this module. So in UBD, in semester 5, year 3, so my students learn about innovation and entrepreneurship 1. There are two modules, yeah, 1 and 2, yeah. 2 usually we connect with the industry or maybe business, yeah. I mean, innovation and 1 module only like concept, and then until the prototype is manufactured. After prototyping, they continue to meet the people to get advice how to create this business into reality usually. And one of them, many of them already starting the business or the startup company according from this module, yeah. So there are new startup company every year from UBD student, yeah. This is number 2, yeah. In semester 6, they continue in innovation and entrepreneurship 2. Only 2 SKS, yeah, 2 module credits, only 2. Okay. And I would like to also introduce my startup company and with my student called Redesma Technologies in Semarang. It's focus on the design and engineering consultant in mechanical, and this the director is my ex-student in Diponegoro University, and I will be because I'm working before I join before I be a lecturer in UBD, I involved in this activity, but now I become as advisor because I'm in the outside Indonesia. I cannot intensively do project, and also we have some project as well, but online, yeah. Before we do the physical, now I become advisor in terms of product design and machine learning. And I would like to present. I think this is my last part of my presentation. In this part, I would like to introduce some of the mechanical engineering research application. And from here, I think this is the video, yeah. Okay, just a moment. I think this video. Let me check the. If not, okay. Okay, just let me. Oh, this one. Can you see my presentation? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this video. Yeah, this is one of our project during the COVID-19 last time. We call UV robot. What I would like to from here is this is the student project, like industrial but it's a student project from startup company. the next, I think the next one is will this one, yeah. Also the seawater robot is the one that still continue because there are some parameters that we need to design. The frame is done, everything, the robot is done. Now would like to, yeah, we would like to embed some of the smart system in here because the robot will be autonomous to find the bottle directly from the river, yeah. The floating was waste bottle. Then once they detect the plastic bottle, and then the robot should achieve reach the position still developing this for the PhD project, yeah. um, and this is the something also at the same time I also have a master student to collect the plastic bottle on the seashore, yeah, not on the river. This is something also we need to develop in the future, but now still developing. And another project is about the ECG image detection. ECG stand for the electrocardiography image detection. Use CNN or deep learning to classify or detect four different condition of the ECG signals. Is normal, sudden death, arrhythmia, and supraventricular arrhythmia. And there, yes, and model is basically to in DL, this is kind of the deep learning, yeah. We don't have the feature extraction here. The image coming directly use put into the CNN architecture, and then the feature will be automatically defined by the CNN. And once the CNN model created, and we put the different not different new signal, but not include in the training one, yeah, separated signal, but same of the classification type, yeah, normal, sorry, sudden death, arrhythmia, and also ventricular arrhythmia. Then from here, it's supposed to be testing. Sorry for the error. Yeah, this is supposed to be testing. This is also supposed to be testing. Yeah, this is testing one. Testing, put here and then test model. Then they will get some prediction. I will show you the prediction using the video. Oh, what is supposed to be video? Oh, not video. You can see from this link. Yeah, sorry. I just screenshot of the video. Actually, the video already uploaded in the YouTube. You can find from YouTube. I uploaded in the maybe about 2021, maybe 2 years late, 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. And then you can see from here. If you see the YouTube link here, the embedded system can detect the signal of the from the paper, yeah, printed ICG paper, and then using the camera goes to the Jetson Nano microprocessor already embedded by the CNN model, and then they detect the kind of the signal. Yeah. So in this case, this normal signal signal actually. And then you can see from here the detection is quite accurate. Yeah, they also detect the normal signal signal. Yeah, if you would like to know more about this, you can visit this. I think I already shared this I will also share to my participant today. I was from the chatting room. Yeah, I will send. And this is also more interesting because as I mentioned in the beginning, that I also as a visiting professor in Poland, I have two projects that have to be done. One is the machine vision, yeah. The machine vision, we call it machine vision. It's quite also new and also hot topics recently. Basically, in manufacturing, we would like to classify or detect kind of this one, yeah, the condition of the object or the metal. Sometimes metal has a normal edge, so normal is already like manufactured, but also sometimes very some like spiky one burst is very dangerous for the hand as well, and then more dangerous is the sharp one. So we would like to detect this condition, and then using also similar method using the deep learning embedded into the Jetson Nano. Before that, we need to do some of the uh, this kind of the process, yeah, detect we label it the edges, and then they will be input into the CNN model, and then finally the CNN will detect um, kind of the image like this. Yeah. So and then after we have this system, we will connect with the robot, multi-arm robot, and then the robot will do whatever they need to do. Yeah, maybe they do abrasive or maybe the deburring process, something like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is quite interesting, and I have one master student here, almost completed. And okay, the last project that I have before I close the presentation and we start with the Q&A is about digital twin. The digital twin also interesting because for university that has limited equipments, also would like to maybe also UBD has maybe not UBD because I'm working in the new faculty. Yeah, our faculty is quite new. Yeah, is starting 2013 I think. Not 2013. Yeah, 2013 is I think 10 years. The years 10 years. That's why we still developing and we still mapping what is the equipment we need. Yeah. But for now, because I was assigned as a manufacturer system department in FIT UBD, and only few people in working in the manufacturing, and I would like to develop this kind of the lab in the future in UBD. Yeah, we will purchase some of the manufacturing robot, and currently we have two already, small one, but this one not yet. And, but if we have limited devices, what we can do is we can design or we can build digital twin platform. Yeah, this is the one that we start now. This is in Indonesia in Batam. Yeah, the robot in the Batam, and then we try to run this robot from UBD, from Brunei. So my student developed design about this kind of robot similar to here. We call it UR3 robot, and then using the open source software, ROS, robotic operating system, and gazebo, they start to have some simulation, and then later on we would like to operate this robot from Brunei, and then we can see what the movement. Yeah, that's why that's mean that if we have some students in the module, they will also practice with the experience and experiment about the real robot. Yeah, not only simulation. So this will be interesting. Or we can also vice versa. If you Indonesia needs some like advanced method. So we'll do this one in the Poland as well. I will create one of the similar system with the different robot what we have in the university in Poland, and then we will try to simulate and design the similar robot, and then we can try to operate the robot from Brunei, or maybe also can be done from Indonesia as well. Okay, and then yeah, I think it is my last presentation slide. So in conclusion, I would like to just highlight a few points. One is open-minded with other engineering science is needed. Yeah, we need to have some open mind with other people at our discipline. We should, as engineer or as a scientist, we should have innovation and creativity. Also, it's a added value if you also learn about entrepreneurship. And maybe this is not so essential, but also we need to, because the country that has technology or product design, I think they will lead the world. Yeah, like you can see many country that has leading with certain or particular product, they become famous. Yeah, that's why if you can have some more product design, engineering, and programming skill, it will have some added value in yourself, in your university, as well as in your country. Yeah. So I have a motto. Yeah, maybe only this is my motto: engineers makes human life better. Yeah, because you can see in your maybe daily life, all of the equipment that you see is created by the engineer. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Maybe I will start with I will return to the moderator, and then we can start with the Q&A session.
Thank you, Dr. Cesarendra, for the presentation. Of course, we can get very important points here before I invite questions. We have to see that great innovations, ideas and concepts will fruit in better commercializations. And also from the presentation, we can know that how to get new ideas. We can do brainstorming, mind mapping, morphological analysis. And from there we can get the entrepreneurship, and of course we will face some challenges. That's why it's very important to be open-minded. Right, sir? And we have one question here from the audience, from Miss Sifa Syahrani. The question is, what form of innovation that can strengthen a business or a company that is urgent at this time? What form of innovations that can strengthen the business or the company in today's era? Maybe that's the question.
Okay, thank you very much. How can I find the question? Is that in
It's
chatting
in the
room?
chat,
Really?
in the Zoom chat, I think.
Zoom chat? Okay, I didn't find. Okay lah. So I've got the question already. Yeah. Good question actually. Yeah. I always during my lecture, I also teach one module. The module name is Product Design Engineering. Yeah. In my module, I always inform my student that in order to be successful in the creating something product, you need to start with hearing customer needs. Yeah. So this is key point in order to creating something, any maybe apps, product, everything that you would like to create. You need to hearing the customer needs, because the goal why you create the product is to be used by the customer, right? To be people, most people like it, your product will be successful. That's why although we have tools here that I explain in my presentation, but maybe I would like also highlight once more according to this question is, you before you starting the product design or creating something or good to get innovation or ideas, you need to meet or you need to get some of the customer information. Yeah, according to that you will have something that very important. Yeah, at the moment, you need to some like the one that yeah, I think that's the thing lah. I mean I would like to answer once again that you need to find information from the customer, potential customer. Yeah. Hopefully my answer can explanation can answer your question. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so communication basically will fruit into understandings of the customer needs.
Yes. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
sir? Yes.
Yeah. Correct.
Do we have other questions? Maybe we can give our screen to Dr. Ananto.
Okay.
Do we have any questions from Dr. Ananto?
Yeah, I think there is a
Uh-huh.
one question from Mr. Iksan, also
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Fasan. Yeah, maybe moderator can. Maybe, yeah, Iksan, please unmute your.
Oh, it is not unmuted. Can you unmute the Mr. Ananto screen, please?
Yeah, they, they are two, I think, Pak Partan and Pak Iksan. Oh, okay. I think I will answer one question from Alicia first because yeah, and maybe you can continue with Mr. Ihsan and Mr. Fatan, yeah. Hello, greetings from Alicia. I would like to ask what's the easier application software for doing simulation on the robot with best for engineer. Okay, thank you very much. This is the one that we have also doing in the last 2 years. So the good question. Uh, uh, you can also contact me later on. I will give my email, but I would like to inform you that currently the best one is you can if you heard about gazebo and also the ROS, yeah. This is gazebo quite easy, yeah. And then I think they are 2 point. We have review last time, yeah, and we come up we select two best one. Just a moment, I think I forgot the name, yeah. What I remember is a gazebo. You can use gazebo with the ROS support, yeah, free open source, but you need to install in Ubuntu. Yeah, Ubuntu one. Unity 3D. Okay, yeah. There are two software that we would like to try, yeah. Gazebo and then the Unity 3D software. Okay, Mbak Alicia, hopefully if you would like to contact, I can give my email also my WhatsApp number later on. If you would like to get more detail, this is my email. I write down in the chat room.
Oke,
Yeah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning,
Waalaikumsalam
Prof.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah, good
Uh,
morning,
okay,
Mr. Fajan. Yeah.
yes, introduce myself. My name is Fajan from Technical Faculty, and
Okay.
I have some one question regarding the detection of the bottle wasted. Last yours has explained for us, and may I know whether to use a framework like a YOLO or ResNet to detect?
Correct.
Would you please advise for us? Thank you, Prof.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for the question. Currently, we start because you know that we are coming from mechanical engineering. If we come from the computer science, will be fast, I think, to finish this project. Because we're coming from engineering, we start from the begin. We start with the easiest one lah. We start with the CNN with the VGG 16, yeah, because we review and we read the many paper that for the beginner. VGG 16 and CNS is the method that will be is common, and then we have moved now to YOLO 5, yeah, YOLO V8, sorry, V5, and then starting from maybe next year or maybe the end of this year we would like to start with the YOLO V8 lah. But currently we are in transition from VGG 16 to the YOLO V5, yeah. Yeah, because I think that's the architect that we use. Not only for the detection of the robot or plastic, we also apply to the another project like machine vision for manufacturing as well. Yeah, because I asked my student, postgraduate student, master and PhD to do the same thing lah, starting from the machine learning, move to the deep learning, CNN, VGG 16, and then move to the YOLO V5 now.
Thank you for the answer, Mr. Cesarendra, PhD. I'm really sorry. We're very sorry that we have to cut this short.
Okay.
Probably Mr. Fathan and Mr. Cesarendra, PhD, can have further discussions after this Zoom. We really want to have some more discussions with you, sir. And that's also very interesting projects that you and your students create. It's very good and very innovative. Thank you for you being here as our keynote speaker. We hopefully to see you in our next conference. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, We are now going to welcome Dr. Ali Said Al-Matari from Asharqiyah University of Oman for our second presentation. Mr. Cesarendra PhD was looking from the engineering point of view, and now Mr. Ali Said Al-Matari will see it from the education point of view, because the presentation will be entitled Artificial Intelligence and the Future of Teaching and Learning. Please welcome Dr. Ali Said Al-Matari. The time is yours.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much for this invitation to be a part of this amazing conference, and I will thank the organization of this conversation, all the keynote speakers also. Actually, I get more benefits and experience from Prof. That's give some example from real innovation of some application that's used in our life. And thank you so much, Prof, for your amazing presentation. Actually, at this point, I will focus about the artificial intelligence and relate to the learning and education. I want to share my screen. For just a minute, please. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen, please? Just a minute, please.
We don't see the share screen actually, sir. Have you shared the screen?
I try now.
Yes.
No? Can you see my screen?
Not yet. Not yet, sir.
Okay. I already sent the presentation for Dr.
Okay.
Abdul Maqit. Okay.
We will share the screen from here, sir.
Yes, we can share screen.
Okay. Move the files. So, ladies and gentlemen, please have your patience. Because patience and prayer can help us. Dr. Ali Said, can you please tell us your background a little bit, like your research or your teaching activities in the university? Maybe you can tell us a little bit.
Inshallah ta'ala, inshallah. Actually, I am a math instructor in Sharqiya University. I am a researcher in psychology, administration, education, and in technology. Also, and actually, I have 5 parts of research that I work on. But now, in this time, actually, I focus on artificial intelligence because this is the fit of the era, especially now. This is like a fashion, like a model or like a fashion. Before we talk about the fourth industry and now fifth industry, and now looking for the we are finishing COVID-19 using technology and now shifting to AI, artificial intelligence. So it's a kind of fit or a fashion that's almost university, almost educators that have. Actually, also, I have a page in ResearchGate. I published more than 62 research or project or presentation, participation in conference. Also published 2 chapters and 2 books, and I have now the 3rd books. Also, I'm really happy to contact with some professors from Indonesia. From Indonesia, yes, like Dr. Abd Maqit and Dr. Mutmainna and Dr. Andy Safran and Dr. Abdul Ghafoor. And also, I'm trainer of Intel Education Project and I train more than 1,000 teachers from Oman. Thank you so much for sharing presentation. Okay.
The presentation. You can start, sir.
Bismillah. Thank you so much. My presentation is focusing on artificial intelligence. It's all called AI and the future of teaching and learnings. Why I am choosing this title? Because now all the world are looking for this kind of style of fashion. So all teachers, they should have what is the meaning, what is the definition of artificial intelligence, and what is the use of artificial intelligence in teaching and learning. Actually, my presentation focus in some points. Can you go please for another slide? Next slide, please. My content, it will be AI will transfer teaching and learning, AI related to human learnings, AI potential, also AI significance, risk, understanding AI and education, ethical for mixed or blended AI in education. Also, I will try to give you a master plan for using AI in education and management, also teaching and assignment. Also, we need to expert what is the AI technology and the different for education markets. Also, we'll focus on what is the adapting of curriculum, and the last one, AI expert to a value. Go please for next. Next slide, please. First point, we'll talk about the AI. AI will transform teaching and learnings. At the recent AI Education Summit in February 15, 2023, in Stanford, research students and industry leaders discussed both the potential of the AI to transform education for the better and risk at play. At that time, by the time of the summit was held, ChatGPT had reached more than 100 million unique users, and 30% of all college students had used. It is for assignments, making it one of the fastest ever application over adapted overall and centrally in education setting. Within the education world, teachers and schools districts have been wrestling with how to respond to the emerging technology. At that time, I meet with my one professor in my university, and at this time he is teaching English, and he told me the students, when they are writing a paragraph, there's no mistake. What they have to do. I told him maybe they get some experience from each other, or some of person from other university maybe help him or something like that. At that time, ChatGPT is work. So I told him maybe try to go for artificial intelligence and see maybe they are using ChatGPT, and he used ChatGPT 0 to discover the cheating from the internet. This is ChatGPT, and this is why we are focusing also in ethical of using ChatGPT. This is one reason. Can you please go for the next? In this presentation, I have a lot of questions. Maybe it's need answer from different educators that take care about the AI. This question: how can AI and other applications be best used to advance human learning? As you see, actually, I read a lot of research that's focusing in mixed AI in education and using some application, but there's advantage and disadvantage for using AI. So this question, it's an open question. You can keep in your mind and try to answer in your research and and you can discuss in your group, in your class, if you are a teacher, if you have a small group in your school for your subject, mathematics or English or something, you can discuss this question with your students, with your colleagues also, and be sure the application of AI is there related to it's normal application or advanced, maybe option that's include. So I'm not focusing in the AI definition, okay, but this question maybe allowed you to search what is the advanced that's given by AI and human learners. Go next, please, for next slides. AI potential: enhancing personalized support for teaching at skills, changing. Actually, can you make it, please? Can you focus more, because I cannot see. Okay, good. What is the AI potential? Enhancing personalized supports for teachers at skills. Change with change. What is the important for learners? Enabling learning without fear of judgment. But judgment need a line and under judgment. Also improving learning and assessment quality. Go next, please. Now we'll discuss for each potential. First, enhancing personalized supports for teachers at scale. Great teachers remain the cornerstone of effect learning, yet teachers receive limited actionable feedback to improve their practice. AI present opportunity to support teachers as they refine their craft to scale through application such as simulating students. A large model can serve as practice students for new teachers. Link, director of the Stanford's HAI Center of Research and Foundation Model, and what he said that they are increasingly effective and are now capable of the determination, confusion, and asking adaptive follow-up questions. Second, real-time feedback and suggestion. Dembski 2023 highlights their ability for the period real-time, like feedback, like suggestion to teachers who are asking question in the class, creating a bank of maybe question based on their experience and pedagogy. Third, post-teaching feedback. Also, Dembski add that AI can produce post-lesson report that summarize the class dynamic potential materials, include students' speaking time or identification of the question that's triggered the most engagement. Research find that when the student talk more, learn is improve. Refreshing experts. Khan 2023, founder of the online learning environment in Khan Academy, suggested that AI could help teachers stay up to date with the latest in the field. For example, biology teacher would have the update them on the latest breakouts of maybe cancer research or liver egg. AI update their curriculum. Go next, please. Next slide. Second potential of AI, that's expect changing what is the important for learners. Rick proposed a compelling question: is generative AI comparable to the calculator in the classroom, or will it be a more determinal tools? Today, the calculator is applications in middle and high school enable to student to use. Also, this calculator can answer question and solve some problems. However, it's not rested in the removal of the basic mathematics. So there's another question called could outsourcing much of the work to AI harm students' critical thinking development? So maybe AI improving the problem solving in mathematics, because improving by giving solve, but not allow students to give them time to think and try to solve. So we need to look for the AI from this side. Good. Let's give answer and maybe in less than a second. But this answer is work with students at that time. But don't leave the student to think. So we need to let student think, collaborate with each other to get this answer. Laying suggested that the students must learn about how the world works. From the first principle, this could be basic addition for science structure. However, they no longer need to be fully professionals. In other words, doing all computation by hands or writing all essay without AI support. That's what I talk with when my college and university told me about their students. They don't have any mistake when they are write essay or two books in English. Third, in fact, by no longer requiring mastery of the professorly, Demiski 2023 argued that AI may actually raise the bar. The models will not be doing the thing for the students. Rather, students will now have to edit and create, focusing them to engage deeper than have provided. And Khan view this allowed learning to become so able to brochure something of the more. Okay. Now Goodman also please go next, please. Enabling learning without fear or judgment. In this point, maybe I will agree with this potential, but we need to focus with the quality and quality of the using AI. Please go next. Improving learnings and assessment quality. Because AI using different algorithm, they can build exam or assessment in second by providing some details from the users. Browns said that what we know about learning is not reflected in how we teach. For example, teachers know that learning happens through powerful classroom discussion. However, only one student can speak up to time. AI has the potential to support a single teacher who is trying to generate 35 unique conversation with each student. This is some benefits that get from AI. Please go next for the next slides. Okay. Let's see what is the significant risk of AI. Model output does not reflect true culture diversity. When you try to ask ChatGPT, maybe now the generation of ChatGPT may be now developed, but as you researcher or as you a student, maybe sometimes you need to ask a question for ChatGPT, but ChatGPT also give you a citation for these topics. But believe me, don't trust the ChatGPT, special if he give you a citation. You need to go for the citation and check, because a lot of maybe research that I see or sent to me to review, I try to search for the source or for the citation for the title of the book of the research, and I didn't find the really the title of the research. Also, model do not optimize for students' learnings. Please go next, please. Incorrect response come in pretty fact. Goodman demonstrated that AI can produce coherent text that is completely without error. His lab training to a virtual tour that was asking with solving and explaining algebra equation in a chatbot format. The chatbot would produce perfect sentence that's expected top quality teaching techniques such as a positive reinforcement, but fail to get the right mathematics answer. So we need to be careful, especially when we are using AI. And this, yes, it's a new technology, and it's a kind of a model of a fashion, a kind of mobile. Everyone want to get a new mobile or something like that, but we should be careful. Advance, experience, and motivation crisis. And there's a story there. Maybe I don't know how many minutes that I have now. Excuse me. Time, please. How many minutes I have for the presentation? What is the balance time?
Sir, to finish the presentation.
Okay. I have time. I have time.
You will have about 2 minutes to finish the presentation, sir.
Okay. Okay, please.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Understanding AI and education, emerging practice and benefits risk assessment. There's some question I need from students and teacher to answer. And next time when you are sharing this presentation, how can AI leverage to enhance education? How can we ensure the ethical, exclusive, and equitable use of AI in education? And there's 4 questions I hope to answer from you, inshallah ta'ala. Please go for the next slide. Also, how can we ensure the ethical, inclusive, and equitable use of AI in education? I have 6 questions I want to share with you. Let me maybe read one question. What pedagogical approach are ethically warranted? This question, it's open your mind to look for the ethical of using of AI. No, go next, please. Go next, please. And there's a master plan for using AI in education, also management, teaching, learns, and assessment. We have 5 steps. I hope to discover when you try to see the presentation, or I will share my presentation with SearchGate. Go next, please. Go next slide. There is some question also. Look for the expected impact of AI technology on different education markets. We have early childhood. We have the chart not clear for me because I'm not controlling the presentation, but I will share my. You can share this presentation with the audience in chat. Looking at the education markets more broadly, AI is expected to have a most impact on testing, assessment, maybe assessment, testing and assessment 8.8, followed by language learners corporate training, and so on. Go next, please, for the two more slides. Figure two reason for adapting AI in education. Improving learner outcomes remain the top reason for adapting AI, followed by the cost saving and distributing and agility and first mover advantage. AI has the potential to transform and optimize the way we work in higher education and our students' learners experience. It is still in very early stage at the university and schools, and this is sure. Go next, please. Next slide. In figure 3, we try to answer this question. Where is AI expected to create value? When we see the chart, first focus on student supports. Student supports this survey done 2019 and 2022. The percentage is increased from 53 to 65. Assessment number 2 is increasing from 57 to 64. Learning number 3 is also increased from 56 to 61%. Also in the administrative process, increased from 43% to 55%, and student not clear, please. Not clear. I cannot see. Also, the security focus from 37% to 49%. This is my presentation, but I need to give you one word about artificial intelligence. Okay, this is my presentation that's I want to share with you. Actually, my presentation include a lot of questions that's help teachers, researchers to focus more about the future of learning and teaching. Maybe I didn't get the chance to present my presentation clearly, especially without controlling of me. But thank you for sharing this presentation, and also I need to make attention for the researcher or educators in different sector, in university or school. AI is good for our life, for our teaching, but are you really agree with me to using AI in your teaching? This is independent for you. Also, it is like something new. When we are talking about technology, everything running for technology. But does every teacher use technology in their classes? This is the point. What is the benefit of using AI in your teaching and your changing the ethical of using technology or something like that? For this is AI, and this is AI is something new, and we need to research what is the related for AI with academic achievement, with engagement, also with without the application of AI. AI provides some service for the students or for some teachers, but also we need to focus the risk of the AI, and be careful for using AI in our teaching and learning. Thank you so much, and now I hope if you have any questions to answer, inshallah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Ali Said Al-Matari, for your presentation on artificial intelligence and the future of teaching and learning. It is very important for us as an educator, myself, and also my colleagues, to understand the importance, the acknowledgement of the potentiality and the danger of AI. Thank you, sir, for your great presentation.
Thanks so
Ladies and gentlemen, we will have a Q&A session, but we will do it after our last speakers. So save your question for Dr. Ali Matari, and we will go to that question after our last presentation. So we will move on to our third keynote speaker. Thank you, Professor Said Al-Matari.
Thanks so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to our third keynote speaker, Mr. Leo Carlo B. Rondina, PhD, CSP, the CEO of Carl Rondina Research and Life Coaching Service, the Philippines. Mr. Rondina's presentation is entitled Peace, Justice, and Strong Institution. Mr. Rondina, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. I am here. Is it clear?
We can hear you really,
Okay.
really well, inshallah.
Let me share my screen. Right. Okay, selamat pagi semuanya.
Selamat pagi, Bapak.
Yeah, go. Actually, way back 5 years ago, I was visiting fellow in Indonesia. So I'm glad to be here with you today. First, I would like to thank the institution, Universidad Pelita Bangsa, for inviting me in this conference. It's an honor for me. And I miss Indonesia, actually. So I wish to be there maybe one day. Okay. So when I was invited in this conference, I was really thinking what would be my topic, because as the early presenter said, the topic is very broad. So that's why I try to figure it out what would be my topic. So since I am a criminal justice practitioner, so though I am in life coaching now, so in my institution, but I still teach. I'm still teaching criminal justice as of now. So that's why I decided to present this topic, peace, justice, and strong institutions. So it will be short. No, I will not take your time longer, because it's in Philippines almost 12 o'clock right now. Now, speaking of this topic, I try to figure out how to discuss it to you, considering that, criminal justice is somehow dynamic. It's different from country to, it varies from country to country, because we have different sets of laws, we have different set of norms, and other factor, culture and others. So it varies. So how are we going to figure it out? What is the common goal? So with that, I figure it out that it's better to align with United Nations, because United Nations is, it's the organization of all countries in the world, and it sets some guidelines, and what to do with different countries. So with that, I figure it out that the best materials to discuss is in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDG. Specifically, this SDG 16, or the Peace, Justice, and Strong Institution. By the way, United Nations has, these are the 17 sustainable development goals. So I focus on the peace, justice, and strong institution, because I think it's uniform, it's true to all, regardless of what country we belong, still the same. I think these are the concern of all countries, especially right now in our region. We all know naman what's the situation in Asia Pacific, specifically in the West Philippine Sea. So I think this topic is very significant right now. Now this it aims to promote peaceful, inclusive society, sustainable goals, and provide access to justice. But effective, accountable, exclusive institution to all levels. So this guideline, actually we're talking about the concept. We're talking about the guideline. This is the general principle which differ in application. But as a criminal justice practitioner here, the law student there, since we are in the academic sector, it's our duty to digest what is the concept, the ideals, the principle, and to help those policy making bodies in the implementation. So this might be the role that we may fill in. So the objective of this is, of course, first, we need to know how it reduce the violence rate, death rates, the exploitation, which is very rampant, especially in our region, trafficking. One of my research is human trafficking. Of course, promote the rule of law, national, international level, to combat organized crime, corruption, bribery, develop effective, accountable, transparent institution at no level, which is quite challenging, especially in developing countries like ours. Ensure public access to information and protect fundamental freedom, and strengthen the participation in global governance. These are the objective of this SDG 16. If you try to figure it out, it's more on combating crime. It's more on peace and order. And of course, in order for that to achieve, we need to know what's the importance of it in order for us to identify what's the root cause to address. And of course, when we address this one, we can have more stable and inclusive world. It's not perfect, no? We cannot really aspire for a perfect world, as we keep on saying in criminology profession, that a crime is a natural phenomenon. There is always crime, whatever the situation is. So all we can wish is at the minimal level. So how are we going to achieve those objectives? So these are the guidelines, as I said. First, we have to strengthen the law and ensure equal access to justice for all. So these are the job of the government per se, especially a democratic country like us, to ensure that there is equal justice for all, regardless of the status, regardless of religion, regardless of color, the skin. We should have an equal access to justice. No matter who we are, we should see to it that we are equal when it comes to the rule of law. Address the root cause of violence, including poverty, inequality, and marginalization. There are approaches in problem. There is a so-called the proactive approach, and there is a so-called reactive approach. And most often, especially in the law enforcement parlance, the criminal justice, we follow this reactive approach, meaning to say there must be a problem before we come up with solution. Or there must be a crime before we respond. So when we take that lens, and then same thing happen, there's one thing that we miss, and that is the root cause. In all the problem that we encounter, whether institution, government, or other organization, we have to identify first what is the root cause. What is happening right now in the Asia Pacific, it's quite complicated because they are dealing with the first aid, not that the root cause, which is somehow complicated. We acknowledge that. Promote good governance and transparency in the institution. Yeah. This is quite challenging because there's corruption, there is bribery, and in order to promote good governance, there must be us as a citizen of the country. These are our responsibility. Why? Because we are the one who are selecting leaders in every position. We have a chance to select. So whether that leader is good or bad, corrupt or what, it is our primary responsibility. Because the transparency in institution will always equated with the person sitting in the government. Because with transparency, at least we know what to do. We know where to go. And justice can be served. Invest in peace building, the conflict prevention initiative. And this is very important, especially in areas where there are presence of lawless elements. Although there are instances that I encounter some businessmen, and according to them, the more conflicting the area, or the more there's a conflict in the area, the more business that they had. Well, maybe that's an opportunity for them, but in general public, it's a disaster. Because the one who is suffering are not those people, in power, people in authority, but those ordinary people. They're the ones suffering in any conflict. So that's why peace building is very important in order to have a harmonious environment. This is very important. Protect and promote human rights, including rights of women, children, and marginalized groups. Although this can be abused. I don't know if you're familiar with our previous president, who is very against the human rights. No? But then, as criminal justice practitioners, we understand the significance of this. Because with the respect of human rights, we can ensure that there is an equality among persons, and those who are in authority has limit. Because authority or power is always has a potential to abuse. There's always the potential for a person to abuse if he has given too much power and authority. So how are we going to prevent that from happening? So that's why human rights concept comes in order to check and balance. Especially when it comes to government, primarily the human rights designed for the government. And a government, another person authority, by the way. In order to check the balance between this authority and ordinary person. So including women and children, because these are, as you observe, these are vulnerable groups. Women, children, and marginalized groups. So marginalized group is a broad topic. So ensure public access to information and protect fundamental freedom. We're talking here about the freedom of expression. You know, this is very important because a country or an organization without this fundamental freedom, especially freedom of expression, will reduce its capability for transparency and will lose its cohesion. You know, because if you have that opportunity to speak, if you have that right to speak and you have right to be heard in any situation or any area, at least you can say something. You can exert your opinion and you'll not be succumbed. But if that freedom is suppressed, it will then that's the start of friction. That's why, as you observe in a democratic country, although some of them are the media are some of them are crossing the line already. They are making abuses. No, not abuses, but they're making it as opportunity to make some propaganda. Yet we are encouraging this freedom of expression because we know that this is very vital, especially in society. However, those things that I mentioned earlier has a different challenges to achieve. First challenge that we might encounter is the weak governance institution. Of course, if the government is weak, if the institution is weak, those ideals, those principles cannot be applied because it will always depend on the institution that protected us, that's created in order to serve the people. Let's say, for example, the police. We must have the strong police organization in any country or any state because their role is very vital in our society because they are the one to implement the law, to prevent crime. What if that particular institution is weak? Which means there might be some internal chaos, there might be syndicate, insider from syndicate in that organization whatsoever. Do you think who will suffer the most? Of course, the people. So in general, all of us will be affected if there's a weak. Well, it's a broad aspect when we talk about weak government because it's really hard to measure. There are a lot of debates on this, but we can see if there's a weak governance, if there is a fraction, there is disunity among sectors of the society. Because if you're in the government, you have to be versatile because you are dealing with different sector of the society. And those different sectors has different opinion, different perception, different stand on different issues. And if you're in the government, you have to come together and you have to find common ground. And you have to implement what is just and right, which is quite challenging because no matter what you do, there is always someone or somebody who will oppose. Somehow that's the concept of democracy. There is a position, but we have to follow the will of the majority, and we have to ensure that those will is somewhat aligned with our objective. Another challenge is corruption. I think it's true to all nation maybe. That's corruption and bribery, because it affect not only ordinary people, it affect different institution, it affect the efficiency of the function of the government. Not only government, even criminal justice. If there even economic aspect, if this exists, it will paralyze. That's why if we try to take a look those progressive countries, look at the corruption rate, look at the bribery. They're very particular when it comes to corruption. They're very particular when it comes to bribery. That's why their people can really trust the government, and they know really what to do. There is no so-called double standard. Because double standard is like, if it is favorable on me, then I'll implement. If it's not favorable on me, then I won't implement. And that's somehow double standard. And it's difficult when you have that setup because we don't know what to do. Inequality and marginalization, yeah, as I said earlier, there is a marginalized sector of society. In the case of here in Philippines, for example, how do we marginalize here? Well, yeah, the indigenous people, maybe. That's why a lot of law was passed by the Congress in order to protect those indigenous people, to protect their right, because they're being marginalized. The treatment is somehow unequal, somehow, because sometimes there is a limitation to accept justice. It's we keep on talking this access justice to all, but in reality, the more money, the more access you have. Yeah, because that's how the system. But in my lecture, I keep on telling that it's not just money; it's the knowledge. Because even though you don't have money, but you have knowledge, you can still access the justice. You can do your whatever you want, and you can access whatever the services of the government, simply because you know where to go and you know what to do. That's why I keep on telling my audience, to my student, that keep learning. Anyway, knowledge is readily available right now. Previous speaker talking about AI, some of the advantages and disadvantages. Yes, somehow in academic it might be a disadvantage, but then in real world it's really helpful, because it make our life easy, because we can utilize that. And any technology, there's always advantages and disadvantages. Same with this, if your knowledge, if you abuse it, of course that is disadvantage. So it's not just that money can give you access to justice. It's the knowledge, that's it. Conflict and violence, these are the challenges. If the area is complicated, violence, a lot of organized crime groups, disorganized, weak governments, progress will always, like in some areas of Philippines, here in the Philippines, the economic growth, there is a lot of potential for economic growth, but because of the conflict and violence, the growth is still on hold. And the one who suffer are ordinary people, the masses. Lack of public participation, decision-making process. Yeah. Election comes in. Not just the election, but different organization. We have, as individual, we need to participate in the decision making through what? Through making someone or letting someone to represent us. That's why we have election, to select someone to represent our voice in whatever body, Congress, Senate. We have our sector. In Philippines, we have party list to bring the voices of this different sector into the Congress, so that when crafting a law, there is someone from a particular field to say their voice. And of course, there is a so-called public consultation. Before making law, there is a public consultation, and if there is public consultation, it's now the duty of different sector to participate, because the purpose of that public consultation is to hear the opinion of different sector before crafting the law. Because the idea is that the moment we craft this law and we finalize this law, that is final. We all of us should abide, because that is the law. So before making that law, it must undergo a series of scrutiny. Now, if the public are not participative with the public consultation in the event of the government, because the government is somehow weak, there's corruption, or do not think what's the welfare of the people, so what would be the outcome? It's chaos, decentralized, or even collapse of the government. And that's the worst scenario that we can imagine, because the moment that the government collapse, people will suffer, because other entity like UN, like other country will intervene. And the moment they intervene, they think it's for our own sake. I don't think so. Maybe some in general, maybe, but then it's different if we ourselves, a citizen of that country, will see who's the one to be in charge, because we know very well our situation, we know our people. Other nationality, they have different culture, but us as a citizen of that country, that's our land, that's our race, that's who we are. So no one better knows about our country except us. So, limited access to information and fundamental freedom, as I mentioned earlier. So this is very significant, because without this fundamental freedom, basically right of expression, right of life, right of liberty, and so on and so forth, we will not prosper. So in short, this SG16 is crucial and more peaceful, just inclusive world. So if we try to address the root cause of conflict, the violence, and injustice, we promote good governance and transparency, the equal justice, access to justice, we can create maybe a world that is safety with equal opportunity. Of course, this can be materialized with the participation of everyone, not only the government, but also us. Because we belong to a society, we belong to civil society group. We must participate in any decision making. We have to raise our voice. We have to be concerned, because we're talking about ourselves. Yeah, international organization can participate, in which in the era of globalization, which we are talking right now, we need each other. The era of isolation is gone, long gone. Alliance happened even before, but with the concept of globalization, we have to work as one towards our common goal. Because alliances, even until now, we can see that it always end with conflict and chaos. Because the bottom line of alliance is that they will always come up with a certain conflict and worst war. So that's why globalization aspect, primarily the United Nations, objective is to unite the world, to make every country livable as much as they can. And these international organizations are designed to support countries, especially those who are in need, especially in the aspect of peace and justice, because that's everybody's concern. It boils down everything. Without peace, without justice, a country will be chaotic. The way of saying that crime, there's always a crime, but then investor cannot come in if it is not peaceful. Of course, without investor, without any businesses, the growth of a particular country is somehow on hold. So as a criminal justice practitioner, we have to ensure that we can participate, we can at least guide those who are in charge of this, whether that's government or civil society group. As academic, no, we can do a lot based on the topic. We can do some research. We can perform public fora or forum. We can educate people that these are the things that we need to do. Because ideally, that's the duty of the academic, the educator, to educate the all sector of the society. Because we're not limited on one sector. Educator is true to all. Research is very important because our opinion, our decision without backing up, without the backup from research is haphazard. So we must have a research-based decision making. When we come up with that particular, if there's a problem, we have to conduct research. We have to identify the root cause, and we can come up with a recommendation, and we have to give it to whoever the user of that information for proper utilization. And perhaps that's the very purpose of research. So in our field, criminal justice in law, this is very vital. So thank you for, that's all. Thank you for listening. And if you have question on me, you can visit. In Philippines, we usually use Facebook. So we have, I have my email. Thank you and good day, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Rondina, CEO of Carl Rondina Research and Life Coaching Services, the Philippines. It's a very great presentation. As the citizen of the world, of course, we want to have a peaceful and justice life, and also we want strong institutions. Thank you, sir, for your participation as a keynote speaker. Maybe we can have more discussions after this. Thank you, sir. Selamat.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we welcome our fourth keynote speaker, Professor Ananda Sabil Hussein, PhD, from Brawijaya University, Indonesia. Mr. Ananda Sabil Hussein, PhD, is a scholar on marketing management with a lot of research. And Professor Hussein presentation is going to be on economy point of view. Please welcome Professor Ananda Sabil Hussein, PhD.
Oke, baik. Terima kasih. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Everyone, can you listen to me? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
we can hear you, sir.
Thank you very much. All right. First of all, I would like to say thanks to the committee for the first Pelita International Conference for inviting me. So thank you very much. And yeah, today I'll try to share a small thought of mine about SDGs and also for the sustainable development. Well, basically, this presentation, or maybe my thought is, will be more into the tourism, especially in the perspective of marketing, because like I think tourism is one of the hot topic in these days, yeah, especially after the pandemic. After 2 years, we can't go to everywhere. Now we can go everywhere. So that's why like tourism will be the interesting point to discuss. Well, let me share my presentation. Okay, this is about my presentation. Right. So my topic will be city branding for creating sustainable urban tourism. So I will talk about how we create sustainable urban tourism based on city branding perspective. Well, this is about myself. My name is Ananda Sablusin. I'm a professor in marketing management from Department of Management, Universitas Brawijaya. And my teaching and research area is about tourism marketing, consumer behavior, and also entrepreneurial marketing. So if you want to discuss more about a specific topic, you can contact me on sabil@ub.sc.id. So feel free, yeah, for everyone, if you want to discuss something, maybe you want to do a collaboration in research, or maybe a small discussion, or maybe even having a coffee with me, I'm so welcome for any invitation as far as I'm able to come, yeah. All right, so that's about myself. Well, the topic is about city branding and sustainable urban tourism. The question is why I choose this topic. Well, basically, like as we know, like during last 2 years, since the early 2020, we know that or before the 2020, we know that tourism sector is one of the promising sector in Indonesia. It contributes around 10% of our GDP, yeah? So it's promising sector. However, because of the COVID-19, the pandemic, the global pandemic of COVID-19, yeah, we know that the tourism sector industry, especially, it's they got a very big hit. It's like tsunami in tourism sector. It happened because like that there are many movement limitation, like government try to put some restriction in terms of the movement, so people cannot go easily for traveling or for doing leisure, having some holidays. So during 2 weeks, during 2 years, like yeah, the tourism sector is very suffering. But as at the beginning of 2023, or maybe at the end of 2022, the global pandemic of COVID-19 is like decrease, and we try to go again for healing, yeah? For traveling, healing, having a holiday, and it's becoming a promising time again for the tourism sector to have more contribution. But the problem is if we call as like explore and exploit the tourism, then it will be danger for its sustainability. That's why like we need to create something like we call as sustainable tourism. Well, in terms of the tourism sector, there are many in these current days, we know that there are many tourism sector in Indonesia. And one of the promising sector again is we call as the urban tourism. Now, almost every city, every town, every place, they try to develop the urban tourism. Yeah, everywhere. Like in my hometown in Malang, we try to develop the urban tourism. So people just need to come to the Malang, and we can enjoy tourist sites in many tourist sites in Malang City. You can go for culinary, you can go for shopping, you can go for artificial tourist site and many things. So we just need to go to the city and we can enjoy many attractions. But when we try to exploit the tourism, especially the urban tourism, it will be danger for the local communities. That's why like we need to have a sustainable urban tourism. So what is the relationship with the city branding? Okay, before we talk about the relationship between city branding and sustainable urban tourism, we need to know what is a city branding. Basically, city branding is like how that's an activity like creating the unique identity and image for a city. So if we want to promote our tourism site for a city, when they want to promote their tourism site, a city need to have like the unique identity. For example, like we call about Malang, my hometown Malang. Malang, they call the Malang is Malang Kota Bunga, or Malang is a flower city. If you go to the Surabaya, they have a branding. They have their unique identity as a Kota Pahlawan or the hero city. Even like Madura, they have like, oh, okay, this is Madura Island. Even this is not city branding, but the island branding. Yeah. So it is very important because like by having city branding, then we have a unique selling point in terms of the tourists in the perspective of tourists. So this city branding must, if you want to create the sustainable urban tourism, the city branding they must be matched with the city branding, with the strategy for our sustainable urban tourism. That's why like we need to know about how we define the city branding that can fostering or that can create sustainable urban tourism. Well, based on some literatures, we know that in city branding is very important in order to promote to sustainable urban tourism. There are three dimensions. There are three important dimensions when we talk about the importance of city branding in terms of promoting sustainable urban tourism. First, city branding will be very important when we want to attract tourists. For a city, when they want to attract tourists, they need to have a city branding because like we will come to the city, particular city, because we know that something interesting in that city. For example, like there are many people come to Malang because they say that okay, Malang is very interesting. There are many flowers. The city is beautiful. So it's not about Malang. So every city they can create the branding in order to attract the tourists. So it is mentioned that attracting tourists for city branding, this is an effective city. Uh, the city branding must be matched with the experience that created for the city. Like so, the experience because the experience experienced by the tourists, they will like provide value. So having a good value for visiting a particular tourist, it will bring the revisit intention for the tourist. That's why like having a very good city branding will bring more tourists to come and to revisit the particular city or particular place. Well, that's the first important. And then the second important is like the city branding will boost the economy. Because like by having a city branding, the good city branding, it will promote our city. And once our city being promoted, people will come to our city. Yeah, they will do many things. There are many activities. Yeah, it will increase the income for the hotel industry, restaurant industry, even the souvenir and shopping industry. All of this tourism sector, it will increase and they will improve in terms of the profit because of the life. I mean, like because of the tourists come to the city. That's why like city branding is important. And the last one, the importance of city branding that they can fostering the local pride. This is very important because like having a unique identity will bring into the identity for all of the people living in that place. For example, if you are staying in Kota Surabaya, the Surabaya say that I'm a Kota Pahlawan, then people say that, okay, means that we have the power of pahlawan or hero. That's why like it will bring or it will creating the local pride among the people living in the Surabaya. That's why like having a city branding is very important, especially when we want to create the sustainable urban tourism. In creating sustainable urban tourism, it means like we need to have like people not only coming once into our city, but we need them to come like many times to our city. That's why like city branding will definitely will enhance the intention and the behavior of the tourists to come to our city. That's why all of the government, they need to improve or they need to create the positive city branding for their city. And the city branding must be matched with the resources or maybe they can match with the strength that owned by the city itself. Okay, this is about the importance of city branding in terms of creating sustainable urban tourism. Well, next I will explain about the strategy. Then what's the question is how we improve or what is the effective strategy in terms of creating city branding. Based on some literatures, there are three activities can be done in order to at least, yeah, I mean, actually there are many, but there are three big things that can be used to improve or to make or to create effective city branding. First, if we want to have a city branding, we need to have an authenticity. We need to create something authentic from our city. Yeah. First, like we need to highlight the unique and cultural historical aspect of the city to create an authentic brand identity that resonates with the tourist. Then we need to try to think like actually our city, what is the important and unique thing and authentic thing from our city? Because like if our city have something, then people have a reason like how to come to our city. If like they don't know actually what our city is famous for, then definitely they won't come to our city. That's why like government and also the tourism practitioner, we need to think about how we to create authenticity. Having a good authenticity, although it's not a guarantee 100%, but at least it will improve the revisit attention of the tourists, which means it will create the sustainable tourism. Well, apart from authenticity, we need to think about environmental sustainability. So environmental sustainability emphasizes on eco-friendly practice, like the green initiative and sustainable tourism offering to align with the growing demand for responsible travel. Then it means like we need to take care about our environment. Yeah. Because like in many cases, like we know that some news in Instagram basically like I saw many information, many news from TikTok or Instagram. There is like there was actually like a very beautiful house on the in the hilly mountain or in the mountain. It has a very beautiful picture, but once they vanished, everyone came to the place, and because everyone came to the place and everyone like they don't take care about the environment, and just only in few weeks, the place is getting broken. Like it's getting yeah, it's not something you again. It's like yeah, it's getting broken. Like there is no reason for us to come to that place again. That's why like we not maintain the eco-friendly practices on that side. So if we want to improve our city branding, we need to take care about our environment. Otherwise, the sustainability cannot be guaranteed. And then the next, we talk about the partnership. In this current era, partnership is very important. We need to have a collaboration with the local business. Yeah, in order to create the effective city branding, there is there is a need to have a strong collaboration with the local business. We need to have a strong collaboration with the organization, with many organizations, maybe in Indonesia, we call with ormas, with NGO, with non-government organization, especially the non-government organization that concern with tourism and environment, and also with the community, because those areas, those parties, they will provide us with support in order to create a promotion to make our destination sustain. That's why like the collaboration with those parties will be very important. So based on these literatures, it is believed that authenticity, sustainable environment, and also partnership or collaboration are three strategies that can be used to improve the city branding in order to create sustainable tourism destination. Yeah, so it's very important and it's very interesting. Well, based on the literatures, I try to develop a thought about how actually the strategy that can be used to integrate or how to enhance city branding in order to create the sustainable urban tourism, especially for the city tourism city or urban tourism. Well, we can integrate actually the city branding and also relationship quality, the theory of customer relationship quality. Because integrating city branding and customer relationship quality, it means the strategy is comprehensive because there is an aspect for how we maintain the long-term relationship with the visitor or with the tourist, and also how we create the city branding. So in order to create the city branding, we need to concern with authenticity and uniqueness. All parties concerned with the city branding, we need to know how or we need to improve the authenticity and uniqueness, which lastly will improve the city image. Having a good authenticity and uniqueness will improve the positive image of the city. So once city branding will be able to create the city image, and the visitor come to the city or the place, then they feel two things, because based on the relationship quality theory, the long-term relationship is based on satisfaction and trust. So the image, the positive image, created by a city or an urban area, they will improve the satisfaction and trust of the visitor about the place. Yeah, they will believe that, okay, by visiting that place, I will have something new. I will have a good experience. I will have a positive thing, and I will satisfy. I'm satisfied with the experience get from visiting after visiting the particular place. Once satisfaction and trust been created, then people will have a justification whether they will revisit the place again or they won't revisit that place again. Yeah, so there are two possibilities. People will revisit or they won't revisit. That's why, like, in the context of relationship quality, the city branding, it must be able to create the satisfaction. So we cannot say that city branding must be good. Yeah, we have to say that city branding must be good, but the city branding must be fit with the something we offer. Like for example, like if we say that Malang is Kota Bunga, then when you come to the Malang, then you didn't see any bunga, any flower over Malang. Then definitely we'll feel that, okay, the image is not different, it's not same, it's not similar like what you promised. And it will create any satisfaction and trust. You won't trust again that, oh, okay, why I need to go to Malang? They say that Malang is Kota Bunga, it's a flower city, but when I came to Malang, I can't see any flower. Then I will be satisfied. Better for me to stay maybe in Bekasi only, because when I come to Malang, I can't see any flower. So that's why like city image here is very important. Yeah, city image will create satisfaction and trust. And those dimension or those variable, they will improve the revisit intention of the tourist. So this is the model that I try to create in order to bridge, in order to integrate the city branding and sustainable urban tourism. So city branding and relationship quality will be a very good theory when we integrate in order to explain about how we create the sustainable urban tourism. All right. Later, I'm going to talk about the case studies of successful city branding for sustainable urban tourism. Well, in the world, there are many cities been success in order to create city branding, in order to create sustainable urban tourism. The closest example, we go to Singapore. Singapore is like a city, a small city, but small modern, not only city, actually in Bahasa Indonesia, we call it, this is negara perkotaan. Yeah, this is a country, but this is a city. Yeah, we can say that this is not apple to apple with Indonesia, because Singapore even not larger than Bekasi, maybe, or not larger even with Jakarta. But Singapore is one of the countries that successfully improve or create the city branding in order to create sustainable urban tourism. The urban tourism in Singapore is very success, and people come there because they have a very good experience. Okay, so that's about the case of Singapore. And also we go to Amsterdam, Netherlands. Amsterdam, they have a city branding that they say that we Amsterdam. So we are Amsterdam. In Amsterdam, they focus on cycling culture. So people know that in Amsterdam, everyone, they prefer to have a bicycle rather than like motorbike or car. Yeah, that's why like we know that Amsterdam is a cycling culture. And then this is innovative urban planning, because in Amsterdam there are many new things, yeah, planned in the city area, and also their commitment to sustainability, attracting eco-conscious tourists. So in Amsterdam, they have a city branding as eco-friendly tourism. That's why, like in Amsterdam, you can see that many places that can be recycled, or a place that can be recycled. That's to match with the city branding of Amsterdam. And another example, we go with the Vancouver in Canada. Vancouver is also quite similar with Amsterdam. They can successfully like to brand out their city as a natural landscape, eco-friendly transportation, and commitment to the renewable energy. So those things are the brand for the Vancouver in order to attract the tourists. Yeah. So we have to think what is the suitable brand for our city. Yeah, we need to think about that. And it is expected that this city, this brand, will attract new tourists to come to our place. By attracting tourists, then our tourism will be sustained. All right, those three actually are the example, the good example for sustainable urban tourism in the world. Yeah, so Yeah, really, I really expect that someday Indonesia or some cities in Indonesia, they can successfully create the city branding. Yeah, because even in like Malang, we have a city branding, but it's just only locally brand. Yeah. Even some Jakarta people, or Surabaya people, they don't know that Malang is a Malang Kota Bunga. Maybe we know that Surabaya Kota Pahlawan, but this is not really attract tourists to come to Surabaya. That's why like we need to create the more attractive city branding. All right, this is the challenges and limitation of city branding in sustainable urban tourism. Well, of course, although we have a good city branding, and also the city branding will improve our sustainable tourism, that there are several limitations and challenges that it must be focused, it must be faced, ya, harus dihadapi by the government and another tourism practitioner. Yeah, first, it's about overcrowding. If you go to Malang during weekday, Malang is very beautiful. Yeah, Malang very beautiful during weekday. It's quiet, but during the weekend, it's a very overcrowded. Even me, I never go outside home during weekend. It's very rare, very seldom I go outside during weekend because like maybe 2 kilometers. Yeah, in 2 kilometers we can like only 1 hour or 1.5 hours because it's very jam. Yeah, and the who make it jam? Maybe in Jakarta jam because every day, but yeah, Jakarta maybe every day crowded and jam. Yeah. But the problem you can imagine like during weekday, Malang is very peaceful, but during weekend it's suddenly 180-degree change, and it's very it's give a harm for the Malang people actually. So this is the negative. This is the drawback if you create the urban city, urban branding. Sorry, it will create an overcrowd. Next, another challenge is about how we balance about the growth of the city and how we maintain the authenticity. In some cities, especially when you said your city is a heritage city, yeah, like I know that maybe like in Jakarta, like Kota Tua, and then in Semarang there are Kota Tua. In Malang, we have Kayu Tangan Heritage Trail. So when we have a city branding like as the heritage trail, then the limitation like we can't do anything with the environment. Like we cannot renovate the house, we cannot change the function of the house to be something else. We need to maintain. So when we went to have an economic growth around that place, then it will have a limitation in order to maintain the authenticity. For that reason, the balance, like how we balance between the economic growth and authenticity is another homework for the tourism planner, government, as well as the tourism practitioner. And the last one is about long-term commitment. There are many cases that people, they try only to have urban tourism. They can create something. But in fact, after years, after a few years, they not maintain the place. It happened in Malang. I can give you in Malang, yeah, because like, yeah, this is the place that I live actually. If you go to Malang, maybe if you watch the movie, the title is Your Waistband. Maybe if you watch the movie, the title is Your Waistband. There is a scene that's about the Kampung Warna-Warni. That's a rainbow village. A few years ago, like 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, Kampung Warna-Warni is very famous in Malang. It's like a kampung, it's like a village, but they paint the colorful paint on the village. Okay, during the first, second, third year, the Warna-Warni is very famous. Even the shooting of movie being conducted there. But because there is no long-term commitment from even the government or maybe the local community, then now the paint is getting pale, ya, menjadi pudar, it's become not bright and shiny again as few years ago, and now people like having no reason to visit the Kampung Warna-Warni. That's why like we need to maintain the long-term commitment. Without long-term commitment, the tourism will be sustained. Yeah, so those things actually are the general challenges that we face when we want to create city branding in order to create sustainable urban tourism. Well, I think this is the conclusion. I think it's been like 20 minutes, yeah, almost 30 minutes. Then better for us maybe have a discussion or maybe conclusion. Well, the conclusion that can be taken in here is like first, like we need to create a compelling story. A well-crafted city brand tells a story that captures the imagination of tourists and set the stage for multiple experience. The key point is like we cannot only have things, but we need to have a story behind, and the story need to create the memorable experience. Because if you go to a place, then it won't give any experience for you. It's not memorable, then you won't come again to that place in the future. So creating memorable experience. And then the next is collaboration. In creating sustainable urban tourism, a city need to have a very strong collaboration. Yeah, we need to collaborate not only with one party, but we need to collaborate with many things. I think I suggest not only the triple helix or pentahelix, we can have a collaboration even with more helix. And the last one, there is a strategy to balance between the growth of economic of the city and the sustainability of the place. Do not make, because I'm one of the victim. I give you an example. I'm one of the victim. My parent, my family, actually we have a small property in Marang City, a small property. But unfortunately, no, I can't say this is unfortunate, but that's considered as a heritage building. Yeah, it's considered a heritage building. And they have a status, they give a status as a cagar budaya. How to say cagar budaya? They become a cagar budaya. So when we have a cagar budaya, we can renovate the house, we cannot change the house because this is the government regulation. So first, we can utilize the house as a business. If we want to utilize the house as a business, then we need to some renovation. And the government will say that, okay, you can do renovation, but only this thing and that thing. That's why like it's very hard for us. That's why until today, the property is like, oh, okay, you just use a house. So there is no growth in economic on that side. Jadi tidak ada pertumbuhan ekonomi. Then actually we can have more profit, and also the local government, they will have more income if the property can be changed or can be used or can be utilized as a business place. But because this is the cagar budaya, then we can do anything. Well, that's my short presentation. I'm really sorry because like maybe if my presentation is not already clear, if we have a chance to discuss, then we can discuss. Otherwise, you can send an email to me and we can do some talk, we can do some discussion, or maybe we can do some research. So, Mbak Moderator, I think that's all for me. Thank you very much. Selamat siang dan Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Pak Moderator. Hello, Pak Moderator. I can't hear anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're terribly sorry for the technical problems we have. Thank you for staying with us. Mr. Ananda Sabil, I hope you're still there. From Professor Ananda Sabil's presentation, we can learn that strategies for effective city branding are authenticity, sustainability, and partnership. Now we will have our question and answer session, Q&A session. We invite questions for our three keynote speakers of this event. If you have any question, please write it down or just raise your hand so we can address and invite the question. We have we have Dr. Agustini Tanjung would like to ask a question. For Professor Sabil. Is Dr. Agustini Tanjung ready?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Please,
Yeah,
madam, your question.
Yeah, thank you, Miss. I'm Sia. Thank you the time given to me. I'm interesting regarding the let me check. Yeah, a strong city brand can drive tourism growth. Yeah. The questions addressed to Professor Ananda Sabil Hussein. I would like to get some more detailed experience or maybe your touch about my questions. We know our university is in industrial area. Yeah. Sometimes the thinking is about the strong city brand is we try to create the tourism industry, but mostly the industry are not allow the people to do or to collaborate with that plan. So do you have any idea? So what we can do as the people who in charge in the educations to make these strong city brands to be a tourism industry? That's maybe the question, Prof. Thank you.
Okay, I hope Professor Sabil get the question. Professor Sabil, are you still on Zoom? It's a really interesting question because we are in Cikarang. Our university is in Cikarang, and we have lots of factories. We have lots of businesses. So this is about tourism in the industry. The question. Okay, maybe we have another question. We will keep this question and we will go to the second question. If you have some to ask to our participants, please raise your hands. One question here, also to Mr. Sabil, Professor Sabil. The question is, what are the key challenges faced by cities when attempting to brand themselves as sustainable urban tourism destinations? What are the key challenges? Maybe
Excuse
Professor
me.
Sabil. Yes, sir?
I'm sorry. I have a small problem. So can you repeat?
Yes, I will repeat the question. We're sorry for the inconvenience, sir. So the question is, what are the key challenges faced by cities when attempting to brand themselves as sustainable urban tourism destinations? What are the challenges of cities like Cikarang, for example? If we want to brand ourselves as a sustainable urban tourism destinations.
Hmm. Okay. Can I answer now, or I'm waiting for the other question?
You can directly answer this question, sir.
All right, this is interesting question for everyone who are interested with sustainable tourism. Actually, well, in order to create the sustainable tourism, especially urban tourism, then we, as I mentioned, there are many challenges. Yeah. So, but the key point here is sometimes we have a different, not point of view, but we have different important, or in bahasa we call as we have different kepentingan. So if we want to create the sustainable tourism, we talk about how we attract tourists as many as we can, right? But in other side, we need to maintain that our city is getting still clean, still lovable, still enjoy to stay on the city, yeah. But there's a drawback. If people come to your city, economically it's getting better. But for the environment, it will have, at least it will contribute into a damage, although it's small, but at least there would be some damages. So that's a drawback. That's a challenge. Because like by attracting many people, then it means you allow people to come to your place. And people come to your place, you can say that, okay, if you want to come here, then you need to do this, and this, that. Too many rules, too many regulations. If too many regulations, people won't come because they want to have a good stay. They want to have a good experience, but we have made some limitation. Like for example, when we say that, okay, why people enjoy go to Hawaii? Why people enjoy go to the Fiji? Because they can enjoy do everything there. They can have maybe many things. But when you visit Indonesia, although Bali, there are some limitation on Bali. So it's same. Like if you want to Cikarang to have a very good spot for tourism, I think that's possible. Because who can imagine as a Japan Japan doesn't have resources, but they can attract many tourists come. So you can have an artificial tourism site. Cikarang can build either on the property. You can also have some artificial tourism site. You can attract many people come there. But we can't expect that Cikarang become a very nice place to stay. Yeah, because there are too many interests over there. That's the challenge. Yeah, to balance between the interest between many parties or many people. It's the very hard challenge faced for the urban tourism. I think that's good.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for your answer. We are now waiting for another questions. Maybe you can raise your hand and state your question. Maybe the participants has so many questions, but they don't know how to state that, maybe in English, sir, so it's a little bit difficult. Is Miss Agustini Tanjung still here? Maybe she can now give the question herself. Dr. Agustini Tanjung, can you state your question again? If you're still in Zoom. Maybe we can have questions submitted to our WhatsApp group or our websites, and maybe we will give the questions to our keynote speakers for today. Professor Ananda Sabil Hussein, thank you so much for being here and for answering the questions. We're terribly sorry for the inconvenience. Hopefully, we can see each other again at our next international conference.
Alright, thank you very much, Bu. Semoga
Thank
sehat
you,
selalu
Pak.
buat semuanya. Terima kasih.
Amin.
Assalamualaikum
Terima kasih
warahmatullahi
sama-sama, Bapak. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Pelita Bangsa Directorate of Research and Community Service and the Chancellor and the Vice Chancellors, thank you all for our very productive session today. We will now take a lunch break, and after that, we will begin our second session at 1 p.m. See you again after the break. Thank you so much. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.